Hey guys, this is AC Lockyer, and hey, this is Building a Lifestyle Business presented by Soft Wash Systems. And this is where we're just profiling some of the people that we know in business about why did they start the business, what drives them, what are they passionate about, and how do you build a business that supports your lifestyle. And this week, we have Jared Reeves on here with certified cleaning. And it's certified. I know you have certified soft wash, you have certified cleaning solutions, you kind of have the certified empire that you're working on. But tell us just a little bit about your business because we don't want to focus necessarily on the sticks and bricks of the business, but the name of your business, where you're at, what markets you serve, just so people know who you are.
Yeah. So thanks for having me on, by the way.
Yeah.
So just a quick overview of our business. So we're certified clean care. We got started back in 1992. I started in 2007. And so, wow, it's been 17 years now, I guess, that I've been a part of this organization. We now serve Augusta, Georgia, Knoxville, Tennessee, obviously the Atlanta market from our main hub in Athens, Georgia. And we do everything from exterior cleaning, interior cleaning, and water damage mold remediation.
Yeah. So you've got it pretty much covered. And what was the first thing that you really initially started doing? What was your first service?
Oh, yeah, our bread and butter was carpet cleaning, carpet and
Mhm.
upholstery cleaning.
Yeah. So you come from that. That's your heritage is carpet and upholstery.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the podcast just before you last week was a gentleman from the UK, Jonathan Little, and his background, his heritage was window cleaning. So it seems like a lot of us have a heritage that we come from.
Yeah, no doubt.
So tell us a little bit about yourself and your family, what you're passionate about. You know, why are you living this life on this earth?
That's a great question. So a little bit about my family. So, um, interesting life growing up. I grew up in a house, some of the best parents you could have. All of my siblings were adopted.
Mm.
And my birth mom, actually, her story is pretty interesting. She was 15 when she had me and then put me up for adoption with a family in Georgia. And so I'd be in Kansas City, Missouri, I guess, if I hadn't been adopted. So it's an interesting outcome. But so grew up here, grew up in Georgia, um, ended up meeting my wife. We met in high school and got married in college, or as we were starting college, and we're about to have our fifth baby actually on the 10th of April.
Well, congratulations.
So yeah, it's we've got a beautiful family. So we'll have a newborn all the way through an 8-year-old and 3 boys and 2 girls at the end of the day. So that's, our joy is our family that we're building. We still have family nearby as far as some grandparents and things like that, and cousins out west. We go out to Tucson and California to visit some cousins out that way. So we've got a great family. It's what we're building's been pretty fun and enjoyable as far as that goes.
So cool little thing you said. We share something in the fact that I'm the only natural born child of my family. Both of my sisters are adopted, and how we got into that is we were part of a organization called Christian Family Services, and so when teenage moms or unwed mothers ended up getting pregnant, they didn't know what to do. They certainly didn't want to have an abortion, because you could have not even ended up in Kansas City,
Oh,
and
sure.
you could have not been born at all. And so we would, when they would have the babies, they hadn't found their forever home yet, or they were still going through the paperwork and stuff like that. So we would get these brand new 1 day old babies delivered to our house, or we'd have to go pick them up in Gainesville, Florida. And we would take care of them for usually 3 months or less until their forever home was ready. And so, we would sometimes get 2 to 3 babies per year,
Wow.
and it really got hard giving them up. And so we actually put our name in for the rotation. My parents did, and said, okay, we've got a son, but my mom had, female problems and ended up losing her first baby. And then when she got pregnant with me, she had to go on bed rest. And then after that, she had to have a hysterectomy. And so didn't have the ability to have any more children. And so when I was 13 years old, we adopted my first sister, Heather. And we said we wanted to have one that we didn't have to give up. And then I actually ended up kind of taking over Heather and stealing her from my mom. And because I love babies. And my mom actually, it was just like this. Well, you've kind of pretty much stolen Heather away from me, so I want another, like they were puppies or something, And so we adopted another one, and the other one was a Cherokee Indian girl. But even though she was Cherokee Indian, she was blonde hair, blue eyed. But because she was more than 1/8 Indian, only Indians can adopt Indians. So my family, I'm 1/8 Indian, and my mom's a quarter. And so we adopted Allison, and when I was 15 years old. So I've got two sisters that are 13 and 15 years younger than me that are both adopted, probably from a very similar situation as yours. So it's a ministry, really.
Oh yeah, my parents decided to do foster care, and then that turned into some adoptions of the siblings. So
yeah,
I definitely understand. And it's different when you're bringing kids into the home that are 5, 6, 12, 13. I mean, it's a different dynamic. It takes a special, your parents are special too. So
yeah. So how many siblings do you have?
So there was 5 of us. Yeah.
5 of you guys.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I've lost 2 brothers already. So, but yeah, there were 5 of us growing up. It was a full house. So,
well, you've caught up with your parents now.
Yeah. And we're done.
Are you done? Are you going to get the,
we're done. You got any recommendations? I'm looking. So
good. Yes. It'd be like freedom.
Exactly. My wife said, we're not doing this again. So I said, okay.
Yeah. Very, very cool. Yeah. Cause if you've done 5 at 8 years, that's like a kid every 18 months.
Yep. Yeah. It's been a ride. So.
Wow. Incredible. It's been more of a ride for your wife than it has been for you.
Well, and I think what makes it even more of a ride for her is we're also building a business this whole time.
Yeah.
So literally the year I bought into the business, we had our first child. So yeah.
Wow.
It's been a ride.
Incredible. So cool. So, when you think about this, you said that you've been involved in this business now for 17 years.
Yeah.
And then you bought into the business how many years ago?
So I bought the business in 2015.
Okay. And so I've heard your story before. You were a trusted team member and you were working in this business for the gentleman that owned it before you. And, usually the question I ask people at this point is why did you want to become an entrepreneur? But the question for you is a little different. It's why did you want to buy out this business and take it over and make it yours and become an entrepreneur?
Yeah, I mean, so the answer to that question is actually pretty simple. So I was always an entrepreneur as a kid. It didn't matter if we were selling, the popcorn or the cheesecakes or whatever door to door. I was always going to neighbors' doors and selling stuff. Had the lawn care business, all that kind of stuff. We started a window cleaning company in college, actually, while I was working here, and I was using the customer list from here to clean their windows too.
Wow.
Which was kind of cool. But, I had a special mentor, the owner of this company of Certified. And so I was going to the University of Georgia. I was getting ready to graduate, looking at the job, world and going, do I want to go to Atlanta? Do I want to go corporate? I really love small business. I love, at the end of the day, if you go to a corporate job, that ladder, if you want to be at the top, is very, very long.
Mm-hmm.
At a small business, it's not very long. It's a couple steps, maybe one or two, And so we were going to partner up, actually. A lot of people don't know that. And, but he was kind of wanting to go one direction, and I was young and hungry and wanted to go another direction. We kind of realized that, hey, it's probably best if you just buy this outright.
Sure.
And, or otherwise we're going to be bumping heads over marketing budgets and
yes.
direction, and should we buy vehicles and all that kind of stuff. So I always knew I was, going to be a business owner, I guess, from a young age. Had a really, really special neighbor growing up as a kid, Mr. Wynn, and he had a janitorial company, very small, but I have memories of riding around with him when I was 10, 11, 12 years old. Looking back, I was probably just some company for an older man running a buffer and doing janitorial counts. But I learned a lot from him as far as, from the cleaning world, and just, it was crazy. I think I was getting paid like $20 an hour as a kid too. It was pretty nuts. But yeah, I mean, I've always been pushed, I feel like, to this direction. It just made sense since I was already 7 years into the organization here at Certified. I'm like, why am I going to go start over? I'm already here. So,
Well, and you made a you talked about something just a second there ago there with Mr. Win, and you said I was making $20 an hour as a young man or a kid or something like that.
yeah,
And it's because I know in the janitorial business, sometimes they'll give you accounts and they'll give you a percentage of the account, and you're out there hustling, and depending how quickly you do the job, how
right.
many accounts. Because I did that in college. I cleaned office buildings and stuff like that, and buffed and polished floors, and got on my hands and knees with a scraper, cleaned everything out of the corners and everything before I used the ectophane wax on the floors and all. And I mean, I've always been a cleaner. Even in my dad's businesses, he made me clean everything.
Oh yeah.
And you develop a fetish for it. But you were really, I assume, making $20 an hour. He didn't pay you $20 an hour. You hustled, and you were getting some sort of performance pay then, correct?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, I just did whatever he asked me to do. And he kind of helped me launch some lawn care businesses and things like that. He was just a mentor without me even realizing that he was a mentor. For some reason, when I was a young kid, I liked hanging out with old people.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I remember the McCanns next door and the Winds across the street and the Savages. And I would go and visit with these people as a kid. And just, I love soaking up their stories and their experiences and stuff, which, maybe that's kind of weird as a young kid, but I really enjoyed it. So,
Well, it's certainly something you should put on a resume because it does make you different.
totally.
I remember my Mr. Win was a guy named Stan Shoemaker. When I went to Abilene Christian University, I was looking for a job, and I went into their jobs, department there at Abilene Christian University, and some of the local community businesses would advertise there. And Stan Shoemaker, his name of his company was Morningside Cleaning Services. Yeah, Morningstar. And so I called him up on the phone and applied and went and interviewed. And next thing I know, I was steam cleaning carpets and buffing floors and cleaning medical offices and doing it at night so I could do my classes. But I loved listening to Stan. He was in his 50s, which back then we felt like, man, that's so old. Guy's 50 years old. I can't believe he can hardly walk. And I just loved listening to him. He told stories. He was an old missionary, and he'd moved back to Abilene and started his business, but he was out in the mission field for 20 years. And it was cool. So that's definitely, you get a lot of wisdom and learn a lot of stuff. That's a gold nugget right there from
so
old
much
Steve.
to learn from our elders. So 100%.
Yeah. So, okay, so you started this business and everything else, and you realized that you didn't want to beat the man to be the man. You just wanted to and climb the corporate ladder. You just wanted to be the man and go ahead and buy out the business that you're working for, be the man, so that you could be married, have kids, and support your lifestyle and everything else. What does building a lifestyle business mean to you when I say that phrase?
Okay, a lifestyle business. So I'm one of the people who I don't think, at least I'm not good at it. I don't really know if I believe in a balanced life.
Mhm.
I think, especially for me, I'm all in at whatever I'm doing.
Right.
And everything you pay consequences and you pay prices for everything. I am trying to balance I just was texting my wife before we got on about balancing, since she's very close to having a baby. And I'm like, hey, do you think I can sneak away for this conference over here? And she's like, I can't believe you're even asking that. I'm going, yeah, okay, I'm not going. I'm sorry.
You going to Nashville next week?
I am not going. I would love to, but I'm not going. So I better not miss a birth. So
No.
but at the end of the day, lifestyle business for me. So I'm a big believer. I want everybody to win. I've always had a mindset of there's plenty of business to go around. There's plenty of money to go around. We just have to go out and pick it up. And so, for me to be able to do what I want, when I want, with who I want is what that lifestyle business means to me. Now, do I actually know what I want to do? Probably not. I'm pretty simple. I play indoor soccer. I play ice hockey. I play paintball once a month. I like to play.
Hmm.
And then I coach my kids' soccer teams. I do all those kind of things. That's all I want right now. And to build a business that's going to flourish and bless other people and help them reach their dreams. Now, when I see something cool, I'll go, oh, we should do that too, and then
Right.
we go do it, so.
So you're in that season in your life when you have young kids and you're building a business and building a family, coaching the kids' soccer teams, spending time with the family, and having the freedom to take off from work when you need to and stuff like that is just a big part of your lifestyle right now. I remember back when, because how old are you now?
I'm 37, 38. Goodness
37,
gracious.
38. So
38. Yeah.
I remember when I was 35 years old, I was watching TV and decided I wanted to. So watching the redfish tour, redfish
Yeah.
fishing on TV, redfish tour. And it said at the end of it, it said, "Hey, if you think that you can outfish the pros, why don't you come on out and join the redfish tour?" And they had a website where you could go and register for the redfish tour and everything. And I went, man, I think I'm going to go fish the redfish tour. And my business, because it was pretty much turnkey at that point, allowed me to do that. I was already fishing 150 days a year plus. And I went, well, instead of just going to Mosquito Lagoon and fish, I'll just go on the road and fish. And so now my kids were a little older than your kids are because my wife and I started early. I had my last kid when I was 25, and we were done after that. And so, my kids were in school during the week, and I was still even coaching the football teams and doing the baseball team and stuff like that. But that season in your life, the business giving you freedom is a big deal. But freedom without cash flow, you got to have the cash flow too to go do the things that you want to do, and that's a big deal too.
Yeah. No doubt.
Yeah. So, so you mentioned that you had done janitorial work, you had done some window cleaning, you got into this business. What do you think really attracted you to or built you for doing the cleaning industry? Because the cleaning industries, you don't land here by accident. It's not. A lot of people look at people when they know they're in the cleaning industry, like you're doing pressure washing or something like that. They're like, "Oh, that's cool." So when your old job picks up and the economy turns around, you're going to go back to that. You've probably heard some of those comments over the years.
I mean, my mindset, I've always wanted to be a white collar and a blue collar industry.
Right.
And so
Amen.
I
Amen.
don't, yeah, I mean, I want to be the most professional company with the best processes and products and systems and all those things and the best customer experience and get paid like we're white collar people. And so because you know how it is. I mean, heck, there's signs everywhere, right? You got these little bandit signs and people charging for $99 whole house for whatever. I mean, you name it, they're doing it. Or at least they're telling people they're doing it. They're really not, right? But
yeah, they're really not. Then 99 is the tease to get the phone call.
it's a bait and switch. So, but I don't know where I learned that from my mentor, blue collar or white collar in a blue collar industry. Probably came from Howard Partridge or something. Who knows where he
Joe
got
Polish.
it from? Or Joe Polish. Yeah,
Yeah.
we were part of them back in years and years ago. So, but I would say, another saying that kind of pushed me this way is, hopefully I get this right, but serve the classes, live with the masses. Serve the masses, live with the classes. Did I just say that twice? It's supposed to be flipped around.
Yeah, yeah. If you serve the classes, you live with the masses. If you serve the masses, you live with the classes. So
Exactly.
you did reverse it. So what does that mean? Delve into that. Explain that.
Yeah, so I mean, it kind of answers why we got into the exterior cleaning. So, we really, really did a fantastic job at carpet cleaning and upholstery, and we added area rugs, and we added, we started adding these things that made sense because we're in the home. And we did the window clean, whatever. we started having people go, well, what about the outside of my house? I'm
Right.
going, well, that's a great question. And so we were kind of looking into it pretty hard. I'm trying to think when I actually got introduced to you guys. I feel like I went to the huge convention in Atlanta, maybe like 2018, 2019, was doing a lot of research and just making sure I don't want to fail. I'm not afraid to fail, but if I can say, I don't want to waste cash if I don't have to,
Right.
or learn
Sure.
a hard lesson. So, um, ended up COVID happened, and I already knew what we needed to do. We watched our interior business just literally overnight disappear, right? Because people were told to stay home and don't go anywhere, so no need to have us over. And people were afraid, and the whole story. So I'm watching exterior cleaning companies just kind of have a great time. I'm going, all right, we're missing something. I already know who we need to go with. Let's just go ahead and pull the trigger. So
yeah,
I feel like we kind of pulled that trigger. Who knows how long COVID officially lasted, but we pulled that trigger sometime during COVID to join up with you guys. So.
And so, if we do stop and talk about soft wash systems just a little bit, because we don't really want this to be about soft wash systems, but it is sponsored
Sure.
by soft wash systems. What were the things that attracted you to soft wash systems?
Okay. So, the quickest answer, I wanted to get into exterior cleaning. I did not want to get into exterior cleaning.
Yeah.
Okay.
You wanted it ready built for you.
I needed to be able to join a system in an organization that could have technicians prepared and ready to clean, because I'm trying to stop being the bottleneck for the business. If I owned if we owned a restaurant in Atlanta and the chef quit, are we the best people to go in and start cooking people's food? No. We need to go out there and hire another chef, right? And so, but when you have been a carpet cleaner, so for instance, with me, I was the carpet cleaner. I was a lead technician for years, and I, did a fantastic job. And so when issues would arise in the carpet world on that side of the business, guess who would go out and fix it? It was me.
Because it's so pleasing.
Yeah. I didn't want to do that with soft wash.
Right.
So I said, hey, I'm going to do something where I'm really not going to learn much technically. Like, I know enough to be able to hold, I know enough, but I didn't want to really be the guy that could go fix it. And soft wash checked that box for us.
So when you say go fix it, what are some of the scenarios that you're talking about?
Just as simple as a guy calls out, I'm not jumping on the truck and going and cleaning. I'm not that guy. If you want it to be a bad experience, let me go. But we're not going to have a bad experience. So we let our territory manager fill that spot, or whatever. So that's really what I mean by that is besides our discovery soft wash, I have not been on a soft wash job to clean. I don't say that to brag. I say that my mission with joining this organization was not to be that person.
So what are some of the tools the soft wash systems has in place that helps you deploy crews and manage the workflow and all that stuff? Just talk about that for a moment.
Sure.
What are those ready-baked solutions that are there?
It comes down to training. If guys don't know where and how to get trained on something, they're not going to be successful. So the e-learning platform, if I can throw that out there, was something that we needed. We needed the systems. I didn't want to go out there and, anybody can go out there and put systems together, but I didn't want to recreate the wheel.
Right.
And how long is it going to take me to build that? Right. How long did it take you to build your systems out? You took time, you took resources. And so,
and we're still not done. We're coming up with new stuff all the time, and we're 33 years in.
Exactly. Yeah. So that was really why we joined soft wash systems, is I wanted to have systems already in place. Because I didn't know.
After all, our name is Soft Wash.
Exactly.
The first person, I didn't even name it that. My original company was called Mallard Systems. And when I realized I'm not even the guy that named soft washing, I didn't invent it, but I really developed soft washing. There's another guy up in Tallahassee, Florida. His name's Tim Asselton, and he owns Seminole Soft Wash up there. And he was the first one to call it soft washing. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's genius. So, when I was starting this company, I jumped online. I went, well, it used to be called Mallard Systems. And I said, oh, I'll call myself Soft Wash Systems. Let me see if anybody's using that URL. So I typed it into the computer, softwashsystems.com. Nobody was using it. So I bought it. And so, because I was Mallard Systems, I was now, when we started the business to put people in the business, it became Soft Wash Systems.
Right.
Well, it was Steve Blythe with Jay Racenstein, because you've got a window cleaning heritage. You know who Jay Racenstein is.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
And, big window cleaning supply company. I remember when I had my cleaning company, we used to buy stuff from Jay Racenstein. And so he's become a big mentor of mine, of course, handles the Soft Wash Systems products, helped me with launching the business, because we were little. And then he said, hey, I'm going to put your products in my catalog. And then we kind of blew up from there.
Right.
He looked at me one day and said, after all, your name is Soft Wash Systems. And I was just like, oh, dang, I didn't even look at it. And it was just funny. But, another guy that's 10 years older than me that I hang out with, to go full circle to back what you said in the beginning, those mentors that are just a little older than you, that have been through life, that have already, maneuvered the obstacles and everything. And, I love Steve. It's funny. He was born in September. I was born in September. He's got a redheaded son. I've got a redheaded son. His wife's name is Karen. My wife's name is Karen. It's just funny. And so I call him my brother from another mother, because we both love Mustangs and old cars. And, it's just like, we're just carbon copies almost of each other. And it's just incredible.
10 years apart.
Yeah. 10 years apart. Yeah. The lead guitarist in my band was 10 years older than me. Actually, he's older now. I think he's 18 years older than me. Everybody I, hung out with, was 10 years older than me. Buddy Roy Reed, Kevin Hypes, everybody. Dan Holland, my CEO of Drop It International, who was my pastor for 25 years, brought him into our organization. He's 10 years older than me. And so, there's a lot of wisdom in what you said earlier on that, for sure.
Yeah. Well, what is age anyways? It's just a number. So
it's just a number. That's right. And so, okay, so you're on this ride and everything else. Where do you go from here? Go ahead and, because I know you got these BHAG goals, big, hairy, audacious goals and everything else. Share with us some of the things that you're wanting to do, what you're wanting to achieve, and where does it take you to help you achieve your life's goals and dreams and take care of your family?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So this is something I've been pondering lately. So we're in, we're in this mindset. Let's see how big we can grow, and still keep everything together, right? We don't want the wheels falling off. I remember we were coming back home from St. Louis as a kid, and I looked out the window, and our trailer tire was going faster than our vehicle, and we had to pull over. Anyways, that was a whole debacle. But we want to keep all the wheels on the bus, and but I just want to see, how much impact can we have? I think that as an entrepreneur, you just enjoy building. Like you said, it's kind of like a hobby,
right?
I mean, I was here last night from 9 to 11 o'clock. It doesn't feel like working to me. I didn't have time to get everything done I needed to yesterday. And then I had other obligations. I had a soccer game last night, and then check on my wife. And then I'm going into the office for a little bit. And, so we have these big goals, and we're trying to figure out how to get to it. So, we're talking like, we set a goal of 55 million. It's actually my hockey number. It's a terrible goal. I'm not going to be upset if we don't get there. I'm not going to be, but we have something to shoot for. And so we've set, our 3-year goal, our 10-year goal, all these things and how we're going to get there. We're doing it through acquisitions right now. It's kind of where I'm focused.
Right.
And so it is really hard to start up. We've gone to markets and started from scratch with our brand that we get so caught up on sometimes. And I'm going, man, that's a lot of work. It's going to take a long time. Why don't we buy some customer lists? Why don't we acquire some best in class companies?
Yes.
And then just either bolt them on or run them as their own through our call center here in Athens. So that's kind of what we're doing and where we're going. And then sky's the limit, until we're done.
What does that do for you?
Yeah. So, I mean, it goes back to freedom, I think. Like a lot of people might say, you don't actually have any freedom. In my mind, I do. Because I'm learning how to be a better leader as far as giving people opportunities inside my organization. I'm not the smartest guy in the room.
Right.
And honestly, when I think back to like college or and group projects, it's funny. I was the guy that got up and like presented. Nobody wanted to get up in front of the class and present. I'm like, I don't have to write the paper. I don't have to do the research. I'll get up and present. Sure. Right. I love doing that. And so, making sure we have people, there's people that are better at different things, right? Getting everybody in the right seat on the bus. And so, I'm just learning to play to my strength now and let my team members play to their strength, because that's the only way we're going to get to where we're going. And I'll be happy that we're going, Playing
to your strength is important. It took me 40 years to figure that out. So you're a little bit ahead of me on that. So it will bless you incredibly when you figure out, I'm dumb here. I'm smart here. Let me just go this way. Let me hire the people to do this stuff over here that I just suck at. And, and I'll play to my strengths.
But it amazes me every day. Yeah. It amazes me. There's people that want to be accountants, right? I'm like, I hate it. I hate that stuff.
They sound like the Count on Sesame Street. One banjo fitting. Two.
Exactly.
Exactly. Oh, you kidding me? So I'll ask you again though, because I know you're like me, workaholic entrepreneur. Okay. You love going into work every day.
Sure.
You love the process of growing the business. Your business is your hobby. But where does it get you in life? What is your life goal?
My life goal. At the end of the day, it gets me my goal. A lot of people are you asking what I'm going to do with the business eventually? Is that what I'm hearing? Or?
No. Okay. Remember, the business is the engine to drive your lifestyle, which is your boat. Okay. And so you've decided where you want your kids to go to school and what kind of house you want to live in and what kind of lifestyle you want to have and what kind of clothes you want to buy for your wife, what kind of purse you want to put on her arm, how much money you want to give to the church, what ministries you want to support, all those types of things. The non-business answer, what is the legacy you want to leave behind this earth except for a clean spot?
Yeah, no, that's fair. So we want to be able to go on like mission trips, get the kids set up, all the things that, I grew up in a family. My dad was an 8th grade science teacher. Mm-hmm. We were poor.
You're poor.
I will tell you this. We didn't know we were poor because we were outside playing in the creek.
That's right.
But,
you had a creek?
Oh, we had. I lived on
lucky were you?
Creek Road. Yeah, we had a creek.
Geez, you are so rich. Yeah.
But, and granted, it's not like I'm going to just I want to just give my kids whatever they want. We just had a fun experience at Publix the other day. Our kids are getting allowance for doing chores. Mm-hmm. And she was in line, the poor people behind us. I'm like, look, we're teaching our daughter how to count up $6.52. And she thought she had enough money. She didn't have enough money. So, and she's counting all the pennies. I'm like, you only have pennies, really? I'm like, oh my gosh. So, but at the end of the day, we want to be able to give back, whether that be coaching, bring in, people into our home to share the gospel or whatever where we're at. If we you go somewhere to share the gospel or you share it at your home, right? So, whatever is called at that time for us personally. That's really what we want to be able to do. Just to have that freedom to choose, where we're going to give our time. Cause that's all, like I said, I believe money is infinite. There's more than enough of it to go around. Time is not.
Yeah.
Right.
Money is easy. Time is not.
We only have so much time. So
168 hours a week.
Exactly. So just getting as much bang for our buck for what our impact will be. So
that's awesome. Well, man, this has been great. I'm just loving watching you grow, and you're a neat guy. Excited about your new baby coming. That's very cool. And we're blessed to have you as a licensed affiliate with Softwash Systems. So thank you for spending the time with us today.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Well, guys, it's Jared Reeves with Certified, and what's the actual title of the company? Certified.
Right now, we're certified Softwash, but certified Clean Care is another division.
Our division, yeah, with Certified Softwash. Guys, these are great stories. Remember, you're not just building your business, become a slave to your business, as Howard Partridge would say. You're building your business to be an engine to support your lifestyle. And we want to make sure that you build a business that's appropriate for driving that lifestyle. It doesn't take you over. And, some people are, really driven like Jared and myself, and we don't even know why we've stuck the number up in the air that we've stuck, But some of you guys are just like, man, if I could just build a $500,000 business and get $100,000 a year paycheck, or if I could build $1 million business, get 150, or a $3 million business and get $200,000 a year, I'd just be the happiest guy in the world if I had X. Sometimes you really got to sit down and focus on what X is, okay? Because you have to find out the end to develop the business. So what are you trying to get in the end? And that will tell you what size business you need to have. So thanks, Jared. I appreciate you, man.
Thank you so much, AC.
All right, guys. This is AC Locke here with Softwash Systems with building a lifestyle business. Guys, go forth and prosper.